What's going on, y'all? I'm going to show you how I turn these bundles into this wig and then cut this wig into this cute bob. My beautiful client provided two 12-inch bundles and a 5x5 lace closure, and the texture is called Natural Wave. First thing I did was sew the closure down. To do that, I pinned one side down, started at about an inch from the front of the wig, the end of the closure. I sewed down to the end and then I stitched back. And before I stitched the back, I sewed down the other side. So do your two sides first and then sew down the back of the closure. So that's how it should look once you're done. Do the other side and then do the back. And these stick pins are very helpful. I don't recommend T-pins. Those tend to snag and get caught on the mesh dome cap and the lace. So I recommend using stick pins. In my opinion, when a wig is made by hand, the foundation is a lot better. You're able to sew the wefts, the tracks, along the elastic band. That way you don't have to cut the wefts. You're able to wear the wig and pull the wig back or up, and you can't see through the wig because you're sewing the hair along the band. I do fold the wefts back. What do you call that? Fold over method? I only cut the wefts when absolutely necessary. And for me, that's usually once I reach close to the closure or like the sides of the wig. If you don't cut the wefts and if you do fold them over or fold them back, your wig can look bulky. So it's your call. And I'll show you where I start to cut. This is the only row that I doubled. One thing that I've noticed that some ladies do or fellas do when a wig is made with a sewing machine is all of the rows are doubled. And I don't think that's a good idea. You could run out of hair. You could possibly make the wig fuller than the client wants. And with some styles, you don't need a whole lot of hair. So she only provided two bundles, and I wanted to make sure I had enough hair. And plus, you don't need a whole lot of hair when you're making a bob. Now, if a client provided 4 or 5 bundles, I would need to double that if she wants all of the hair to be used. Now I'm on to my second bundle and I just continue to stitch the hair down. At this point, I'm no longer folding the wefts back. I'm cutting once I reach the end. And I like to stitch as close together as possible. That way, when the wig is combed or brushed, the thread will not snag. And plus, your wig will last a long time. So stitch as close together as you can. It doesn't have to be as close as I'm doing. I'm making this for a client. If I was making my own wig, child, I probably wouldn't. But I want this to last a very long time. So just take your time and be as neat as possible. If you see that you made a mistake or if something looks like it could be a problem in the future, go ahead and fix it. Go ahead and fix it. So this is my last row and I'm stitching the last row right behind the closure. That's the back of the closure. And I don't like to double the wefts that is under the closure because that can make it look bulky as well or feel bulky. And I'm all done. And when you reach the end, I stitch to the end of the weft or the wig cap, and then I stitch back. That will reinforce that last track. And I'm using nylon thread. And don't worry, I will link everything that I'm using to make this wig below. And if you want to order your custom wig, I will have a link for that as well. So go ahead and cut that cap underneath that lace closure. We will not need that. Take your time. We worked hard and we don't want to cut our stitching. And then here is how she's looking before her co-wash and her cut and style. Here's the back. And this is like a natural wave. And this is how the wig is looking after her co-wash. Just giving her a towel dry, and this is the foaming lotion. Here is the foaming lotion that I'm using. I used a generous amount. Didn't have to really go through the hair section by section because the hair is loose. It's like a natural wave or wavy. I like to use a brush to smooth the hair out, and then once the hair is nice and smooth, I go through with my fingers. And then I'm just going through it with my fingers to kind of clump those waves together. I did part the hair. She wanted her part on the left side. I did part the closure and I did tweeze it just a bit. And I'm really going through it, taking my time, because when I cut it, I'm going to grab pieces at a time to cut. So yeah, that's how she's looking. I start in the back and I don't use scissors when I cut hair extensions. I like to use a razor comb and I pretty much go piece by piece. I just go through and take my time, fluff as I go, move the hair around every which way, every which way. Yeah, and just move it around and cut where I feel it needs to be cut. I did sew an elastic band onto the wig. My client has alopecia, so combs will not work for her. This is a great low maintenance wig. Wavy hair is so easy. You don't have to restyle it, like wet it and set it again. You can just brush it and go ahead on about your business, or use a wide tooth comb. If you have alopecia, or if you're dealing with breakage, thin edges, weak edges, this is also a great option. I do not recommend installing wigs. That includes sewing it down, using glue or gel. I feel like you should remove your wig at the end of the day. At the end of the day, place your wig on a styrofoam head, a wig block, or some type of wig stand or mannequin head. If you enjoyed this video, I know you will love this one. See y'all next time.